When you have kids literally all day long, how do you structure that day?
The structure class, the way I do it, I have a class every morning. John, you've taught for many years. The worst thing you can do with kids is have downtime, sitting on the
Yes.
ground doing nothing. You're hitting the kid next to them or what have you, or disrupting the class
How could a
or
kid
whatever.
resist?
Entertaining children. And I have large groups, 130, 40, 50, 60, 70 kids here at one time. You've seen my school. So, and you've seen how well structured it is too. They're not out of control. You can hear yourself talk in my office, even with that many kids out on the floor. And I'm saying that because I call some schools, it sounds like I'm calling kindergarten.
Yep.
It's just a din, a
It is
din.
remarkable.
I wouldn't still be in the martial arts doing this for 27 years, and I'm still standing, okay? Because we train our children, okay? If I can train my little doggies to do things, to sit and lie down and be quiet, I can certainly train a 5-year-old to do it. You just explain to them what the expectations are and follow through. It's not hard. So I have a class every morning, 10 to 11. We have a curriculum. Then I have another class in the afternoon, normally 4 to 5, like after school, but during the summer I do it 3:30 to 4:30. Now, a little caveat to that. We do field trips during the summer. I used to do 10 classes a week and then still get them ready to go on a field trip and get them all ready to get them out. So the days they're going on field trips, uh, I only have one class. So we do our field trip on Tuesday and Friday. On Tuesday, we go swimming. We take them all swimming at one time. So we have the whole park to ourselves, the whole pool to ourselves with lifeguards and my staff. There's a kiddie pool for non-swimmers and a big pool for swimmers. So we'll have one class in the morning and go on a field trip, or if, probably we'll have the class in the afternoon on the swimming day. The opposite of that is true on Friday. We do our other big field trip at the end of the week. They all look forward to that. We're going bowling, we're going roller skating, we're going to Monkey Joe's bounce house room where they have jump houses. We go to the movies at our big Cineplex here. They have 12 theaters. It's big first run movies, not dollar movies that people have seen over in the bad area of town. We're getting first run movies, and I get a rate on that because I call the corporation, and we get a rate. We rent the whole theater. So nobody's in that theater but us. If they go to a restroom, they raise their hand, they leave with an instructor and come back.
Good.
And I stress this on the phone call too. We go only on local, safe, fun field trips. We're not going to Wet and Wild. Nothing wrong with that. We're not going to SeaWorld or Disney World or the Kennedy Space Center. It's too far from home. Too many other people are there. I can't control it.
Yes.
I want control at all times. Okay,
Good.
we have more than enough staff. And I'll tell you what, at the bowling alley, for instance, we're the only outside entity that has a brochure rack in that bowling alley because number one, we bring them money, a lot of money.
A lot
Number
of
two,
it, yeah.
we bring them a lot of money. Maybe you do it 2 or 3 times over the summer because kids love bowling. They're active. They get up to do something. But I'll bring in 100 plus kids there. You can hear ourselves speak like right now. They're all lined up in their camp T-shirts along the back wall. Not one word. When they go up to get their shoes, 5 kids go up there. It's please and thank you. Okay, now while they're bowling, they can be little kids.
Sure.
But entering the bowling alley or leaving the bowling alley, it's quiet. I've seen as many as 17 kids there with a child care with 2 women just yelling, and it's just out of control. They don't have a brochure rack in there. Let me tell you this. We train our kids.
That's an extension of the martial arts. That really does show you that these kids are walking the talk.
Those aren't words. Those aren't words. Those are rules to live by and how to save your hair so you didn't do this back in the day, John. We tell them expectations along the whole back. We give them orientation. We go all the way down. We talk right to them, get in their faces, just like Super Nanny. We give them the expectations, and this is how we're going to act, and this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it on the way there. This is how we're going to do it on the way back. This is how we're going to act while we're there. I've seen other martial arts schools at the bounce house places out of control, and their teachers are on their phones texting and chewing gum, which is a no-no in the bowling alley and the bounce house. And it's just out of control. I don't know what they're doing. They're not one of my licensees.
Definitely not.
But we tell them they're not even going to talk on the vans or buses. They can whisper. Okay? They don't do that. If the bus driver has to turn around and say, be quiet, please, he's already distracted. He's got to look around. He might have 30, 40, 50, 60 kids on a bus. I've driven behind a county school bus. I can watch the kids jumping in their seats, which is intolerated. I see them go across the aisle to another seat, what have you. I've had kids wave at me out the back of the bus and they think that's really cute. Okay, the bus driver's in La La Land driving
Yep.
along. Same with childcare centers with seatbelts. Their kids are out of control. You won't last in this business if you have large number of kids like I do, and you're gonna do it for a quarter of a century like I have. I'm moving into the next quarter century, unless you have disciplined, trained children. Your people are going to want to quit. Your teachers, your bus drivers aren't going to want to deal with screaming and yelling at kids on the bus. So we don't have that, John. So if you nip it in the bud with your after-school orientation or your summer camp orientation, how you're going to be on the bus. And I have monitors like we did in school on my buses, also known as snitches, and they let me know who's doing what. They take names when they come in. There's consequences. You'll lose playtime. You'll have writing to do. I will not talk or play on the bus. We do that, and all the kids know it. We follow through. So they know what the expectations are. And my kids are extremely well disciplined. As you know, Tim came over to my school and saw my school. He just couldn't believe it. I said, no, I can't believe that you have to come over here to see how it's done. So he learned, and he moved on. I learn all the time, too.
My brother Jim's comment when he saw all the kids in class, but you couldn't hear all the kids in class because it was so quiet. He turned to me and said, "This will not drive you nuts." I thought it was such an interesting statement. This will not drive you nuts.
In 2000, when I had 177 kids here with 8 teachers on the floor, that's back when I used to teach on the floor with my wife. She's still out there. Doesn't have to be, but she likes doing it.
Yeah,
I'm running the business and other businesses and what have you.